DPC. Unknown versus Balrogs. Heading over to the second map this early. So if you missed something, you missed a very fast game of Balrogs just running over Unknown, not really giving them any chances of fighting back or getting back into the game or even show some promise. So what happens now is, well, you can almost say the time to shine, because Balrogs is not gonna go easy on you. We just saw what they did to Unknown. They will slaughter you. They will massacre you. They will leave nothing left for your family and your friends to tell. So if you're gonna fight back, now's the time to do it, Kips.
Yeah, it's not going to be an open coffin funeral anyway, so just go all out.
All in seems like the strat to go for too. So I wonder if the draft is going to be any different. If we still quickly recap from the first game here, Unknown weren't actually even getting any benefit out of the laning stage. Like, we're already 1,000 gold behind on the 5-minute marker. What would you think is key for them in the very first seconds of the laning stage? What needs to click for them to have an even chance in the lanes?
Honestly, a lot of it is down to the draft this time around. I think they were in a corner by the time they picked a PA already. No really good outs here. So what needs to happen if you're this far behind, if you're trying to beat a team that you know you have no real chance against, like, first thing you gotta do is just get to play the game. What we saw Unknown do was not play the game. They didn't get to do anything. So make sure that you actually at least go equal in the lanes, draft for just the lanes if necessary. And then you can find out after if you actually got things to do with the leverage you now have. But as things stood like this, they had no options whatsoever.
Well, let's see if this is the draft to pull it off. And talking about waking up, we have an IO pick already going on. So if we're looking at the draft here, and we have made sure that we're not installing Riot launchers and not the wrong MOBA game and getting back to Dota. IO still capable of being pulled out into any combo, and now we're actually going to look at Balrogs playing on the Dire side of the map and their 33% win rate on Dire. So if Unknown is going to win, it's not even draft dependent. It is draft dependent, but I just want to look at, if you're playing Radiant and you have a low win percentage on Dire on your opponent's side, you've technically won half a game.
Shot at least, and especially with the IO here, which is Moonlight's most played hero. So this is very, very much a signature pick for Unknown, and this is their captain saying, "We're playing my hero right now, right this game." Of course, Balrogs immediately pick up the Grimstroke Void Spirit. The Grimstroke, the Soulbind is excellent versus an IO who's always going to be in Soulbind tether range pretty much of his target. And then the Void Spirit, which is an excellent IO hunter, and it's very hard for IO to have a good enough game that he doesn't get immediately blown up by the Void Spirit. And well, Spirit Breaker IO though, this is fun. This is fun. They're gonna go brawling. I like this.
Well, brawling is the way to go. Spirit Breaker's a great hero pickup. One hero that's been looking really hot in the last few weeks. The hero that was completely ignored in TI and now being given a lot of love. I wonder what they're going to do to Spirit Breaker with the coming patch in a few weeks. I'm not sure if they're going to do it pre-major or post-major before the second tour kicks off. But this Spirit Breaker hero, at least in the current meta, he's really good against Grimstroke right now. And I think we talked with Harry that he's also a Pango counter, because if you have an Aghanim Spirit Breaker, your stun will hit a Rolling Thunder Pango first. So that instantly makes Spirit Breaker better hero than a Pango. So there's that. But he's already looking good with the current matchup.
Yeah, I think the thing I've seen suggested most is a nerf to the Bulldoze, which is... On one hand, I agree that would be the easiest way to stop making him overpowered, but that's not the way that usually things have been nerfed in Dota. Like, you nerf the already weak aspects of the hero and make him more imbalanced, if that's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they're going to go for the Bulldoze. Like, the fact that he just runs around, maybe he should deal less damage instead, for example, because his disables aren't that good, his team fight isn't that good. It's just the problem that he can snowball out of control right now, even from a support position.
Well, what about this ban sector, though? Kind of looking at what are we going to be going for. more core bans. Already got supports technically on unknown side, unless they put a +3 Spirit Breaker. IO still needs a pair. I would kind of like to see the IO as a 5 in this case, because I don't like IO Spirit Breaker as a duo.
No, you don't like the dual lane?
No, I don't know. There's something that tells me no. I mean, you could put IO 4, Spirit Breaker 3, or but that's the only way you can actually lane them. So IO.
But are you even a play-by-play?
I mean, does the IO get the movement speed of the Spirit Breaker? No, because it breaks the speed barrier, or basically the speed limit.
He goes decently fast, but he can't keep up.
Yeah, he can't keep up.
It's not as stupid as it was.
Yeah, imagine if it was a double race car just running around the map.
Probably used to be the terrain walking, right?
In that case, IO Bloodseeker would be a fun combo, because the IO would have to follow the Bloodseekers every single click to like a thousandth of a second to keep up with the reactions without breaking the tether. It's a hectic chase.
Enjoying the bans here, by the way. There's a bunch of really good signature heroes for Balrogs being removed. The Timbersaw is going out. The Burna Razor is getting removed. And over on the other side, they're banning the Nyx. We saw the Nyx first phase banned in the previous game as well. More of a protection for the OD, but I think teams are waking up to the fact that Nyx is good, actually. And they just decide to not deal with him. Nobody wants to deal with Nyx.
Yeah, easy removal at least. Nyx is pretty annoying.
10 seconds to
but
pick.
Surprising, yeah, I'm actually surprised that they do end up banning Nyx Assassin. It's kind of like, it does speak comfort, respect level of a ban.
Yeah, you can't play Void Spirit into Nyx Assassin. And then actually you also can't play Ember Spirit into Nyx Assassin. You can't really play Quap into Nyx Assassin. You can't really play OD into Nyx Assassin. And then most of the mid laners of this patch are gone.
Yeah. Come up with something new. Well, Ember Spirit is there at least. So that's one.
And I do favor the Ember over the Void Spirit in general, because your damage is less capped. Like, Void Spirit has a very clear hard cap on his damage, where once you want to cross it, you really got to go into the E-Blade. And Ember Spirit just scales better and more smoothly in that regard. Void Spirit has a bit more jumps and bumps, if you will.
Yeah, Ember Axe is also broken as hell.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. BKB refresher Ags, which hero am I talking about? Could be Razor, could be Ember.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
And there's this Tusk pick. I feel like the mobility for positions are kind of creeping back in. We've seen more Spirit Breaker, we've seen more Earth Spirit, we've seen Tusk now. But there's still such big risk reward, right? And this game as well, if you go in as a Tusk, I guess it's better to have a Tusk to go in, because you don't want to play a Soul Initiator versus a Bane especially. So I think Balrogs are actually happy to have a Tusk as cannon fodder here. Because the Bane needs to deal with him, and then the Void Spirit can go in after. Because if you play any Spirit hero into Bane and you're the Soul Initiator, this is excellent, by the way, then you're just going to get gripped and die. But now they have a lot of vision, they have a lot of stuns, they have a lot of reach, and I don't think that scenario is going to be a problem anymore. Bane's still good versus Beastmaster. Sorry, excuse me, the other way around. Beastmaster also very good against Bane in the lane, because you get to take off the Nightmare with your Boars. Feels good, man. So, top tier pick.
Grimstroke Beastmaster double roar. Tusk also being able to move the Beastmaster closer. You've got vision from the Hawks. Void Spirits. Yeah, very run at you lineup with Balrogs. You've got 3 heroes that just show up out of nowhere. It makes the Grimstroke's life also easier with Soulbind. And the slows and the ink swells. There's a lot of good ink swell targets too. You could ink swell snowball into roar. Like, you can just combo somebody to death without them getting able to recover from the stun. Some very cool stuff. Bane is not enjoying this game. This is not for a Bane enjoyer.
No, it is not. I mean, do Bane players even enjoy things, honestly? I think they just take delight in the suffering of others.
I mean, have you ever heard Bane G's on YouTube?
Yes.
that is the epitome of Bane enjoying, for sure.
Ooh.
Ursa Medusa, Phantom Lancer. Yeah, these all kind of add up together. Still carry missing for Balrogs. Also the last pick too. They've got a lot of physical damage buff. Attack speed buff. Dominator also giving extra damage. You got lifesteal. What would you pick here for Balrogs? Because, you know, like there's a lot of right-clicker options that benefit from lifesteal here.
Yeah, I'd honestly say that another Luna would be just fine if they want to keep up the pressure, keep up the tempo.
Yeah, I also kind of like the idea of bringing out a Luna. I was thinking Troll as well. I think like Troll just gets a huge early buff.
I'm not too sold on Troll right now. I think the Troll is especially good to get yourself out of really bad laning situations, because Troll still wins most of his lanes, even when he's completely, or when any other hero would be completely outmatched. Here, by the way, I think we glossed over something. The Spirit Breaker is definitely a core. And it leaves a lot of pressure, well, on this Luna here. This is a good, well-rounded lineup, though. And IO Luna farms really fast. The IO can also make plays together with the other heroes. It's not like you're just going to be farming with that IO. You have a good setup for global abilities with that Bane. Ember Spirit has a lot of reach. Spirit Breaker. You can make plays with his lineup.
You could.
I think this is miles better than our previous draft.
Yep, I agree. And not the Spirit Breaker. I mean, we did kind of touch upon the subject of the IO. If the IO is a 4 or 5, Spirit Breaker being a 4 or 3 in that case. So yeah, Bane Spirit Breaker lane. Unless they still go IO Spirit Breaker and then put Bane with the Luna, which is also another lane duo you could go for. But we'll see. We'll see what they decide to go for in the end. 30 seconds for Balrogs. Still plenty of...
I think their Luna.
Yeah, I think their Luna's
They
gone.
gotta think now. What's left in the pool? Wraith King. Big staple pick right now.
First Wraith King pick for SA Div 2. Let's go. One of the uncontested heroes.
Not the
Did they just random a hero?
No, there we go.
They went for the Wraith King. So that's the first Wraith King pick for Division 2. One of the uncontested heroes now into the fold. Burna gonna be bringing it up.
Yep, and still a very, very fast lineup here. If this Beastmaster has a good time, and I got a feeling that Draken will. Like the Luna lane is decent versus Beast, but you're not exactly shoving him out with it either, unless Draken really messes up. So I think he's going to have just fine time getting his Helm of the Dominator into Overlord. And in the meantime, you've got Robo Z, who, you know, a lot is down on Soul here, I think, and Greedy. In order to stop off any kind of actions from Void Spirit. If they can do that, then at the very least to buy themselves time until this Beastmaster gets online.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about after that. After that looks pretty
I don't
grim
think
to me.
it's. I don't think we want to step ahead of ourselves in the specific series. Balrogs, with the pace that they showed in game number 1, pretty sure they will give us just another show of dominance as they did. But I stand with Kips, saying that this draft is miles better for Team Unknown or Unknown Team compared to what they had in the first matchup. Now it's just down to execution, and really comes down to the very early seconds of the laning stage. Start landing those last hits. Start building your game from one step at a time towards that first potential series victory for themselves. Has to start with a map victory first. This is the one to do it. Balrogs with the lower win percentage as well on the dire side. This is what we talked in game number 1. Is this the deciding factor or not?
I'm honestly surprised to see them having a lower win rate on Dire. Most teams like playing on Dire right now because you get very easy Roche access if you play a dominant game, which is something that Balrogs usually does. Like, you just hold on to your own outpost, and you get to always take Roshan, always have that easy access point. It gets much harder if the Radiant have a good time, of course, because then they're going to be holding your outpost and you have to play very defensively in order to get it back. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. That's literally an O.
Oh,
First blood off the Luna for the Wraith King, so Burner's gonna get a huge benefit out of this, comparing the carry
30
matchup.
seconds until digital sports.
Talking about Roche, the second lowest average of taking Roshan is actually unknown team. Below them is Inverse with 0.2 Roche kills per game.
oof.
Unknown team at least have 0.56.
Yeah, I mean, none of that is bad choice. I think Roshan, the amount of things you get out of Roche right now, just in sheer amount of volume of items, pretty much
They're gonna go
unignorable.
for the Spirit Breaker. He's forced to level up charge
So
level
slow.
1, and he's still getting caught with the Remnant. They're gonna save this one for Robo Z. So you have a Spirit Breaker with a charge level 1, so he doesn't get to use Bash for his lane.
At least he gets to get back to lane fast.
Yeah, he does, but that's already 2 kills for Balrogs, and I think we can throw those early seconds down the drain. Now it just got a whole lot harder for Unknown Team to get back in. Balrogs enjoying themselves. And if we talked about them, well, it is on Unknown's team side, the Bane, so it's going to be a very difficult game for him to get back into this one. But yep, Spirit Breaker already back in the lane with that charge. And still in time for the first creep wave. Not all of value was lost.
No, it wasn't. And at the very least, he isn't going to suffer too much because he has an IO, so it's very hard to get pushed fully out of lane. But this won't be a dominant lane like you see from Spirit Breaker IOs sometimes. Between the missed skill and the missed experience, he is starting off on a rough note.
Yeah, it is a very interesting duo with the Spirit Breaker and the IO. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this, but we'll see if they can pull it off.
He's charging mid? What?
Yeah, he tries to get himself away from the Grimstroke and the Wraith King there for a second. At least they're just trying to increase the distance. With this level 1 charge, though, IO is moving at 550 movement speed.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big benefit for
Good
Moonlight.
time frame. I was just startled because I was watching the mid matchup and suddenly I see the charge icon appear. I'm like,
Yep. And they were just blowing
What in
stuns
the
on the Spirit
freshly
Breaker.
baked potatoes.
CXCA, very deep ops ward placed down inside the jungle right next to the outpost. Feeling thought he put it on the cliff.
Couriers dies with its essence.
And he loses his courier too. I think that's a 1-0 for the Tusk.
Oh, definitely. And there's another courier now hesitating around that tower. That's the Luna. She's going to finish up her magic wand. That's actually pretty big. He'd really like to have that one.
That's a pretty cute courier.
Amorgis.
Amorgis. Yes.
That's cute.
Now the Tusk is considering some moves here, still wanting to block this. Well, not actually block the hard camp. It is blocked by the sentry ward placed down by Feeling.
Yeah, just checking it. This Tusk can do pretty much whatever he wants because the Beastmaster feels so comfortable in this lane. There's not really any way for him to get set up by the Nightmare here as long as he has a boar up. And the Bane would really rather not use his brain saps in order to take the boars down, but he's usually forced to anyway.
Yep, and now they go in.
Oh!
That Nightmare should usually
much
disappear with the boars, but they're just still focusing on the Bane instead. They're like, we don't have to worry about the Luna. We can just get the support out of the way, as they do. Make that a 3rd kill for Balrogs 3 minutes into this game.
But the Luna is CSing well. She's got a couple of denies on the board, and the
yes.
Ember Spirit is also hanging in there.
Oh, stun onto the IO. He also gets some distance. Burner throws in the stun on the IO. One more right click should do. Doesn't need it. Stroke of Fate will be there. Greedy. 400 HP. Forced to go for a quick bracer. Wants to get that lucky bash on the brim. Come on. Give it, give it, give it. Doesn't need it. Loses his courier though in the process. But a kill is a kill. And he could actually kill this Wraith King too if he just gets lucky. He only gets lucky once. Need to get lucky twice.
And that's a big creep wave. He would actually take so much damage going through that. Too risky. He's doing well here, honestly, recovering pretty nicely. Higher CS than the Wraith King right now as well. Oh no.
The big difference is Arceus dead in bot, and that's a Bane gonna be going down to the boards. Will be able to snatch this one, make it a double kill for Draken. Oh well.
Yep. I mean, this Dusk is a leveling tag team. You're getting all of that bonus damage. And this Beastmaster Helmet the Dominator flying in another creep wave, and that's when the tower is going to get pushed.
I don't know what's going on. This is full-on chaos and mayhem right now. Nice shards from ZXCA. Beautiful block there. Spirit Breaker, that's the bigger target to punish. Wraith King has actually got mana and just one more. Oh, he loses vision there. I was hoping that the IO potentially maybe jumps with the tether, but Wraith King only now got the mana for the Wraithfire Blast, but not required. They already got the kill in the Spirit Breaker, which they're happy with. 7 kills for them in the last 5 minutes, so one team is scoring a kill every minute. Very high average.
And once again, now we're running into this situation where Team Unknown has both of their side lanes being decently pressured. They have some leverage on top, but this definitely means that Ember Spirit...
For the Kraken.
Ooh,
Sexy
he's
Yogi
down.
is also moving in, and look at that. Look at that. Lucent Beam, maybe. Oh, he's too slow. Arceus. Oh, he's getting outplayed so hard. My brain hurts. Somebody's picking me with a goddamn needle right now. But Draken, he moves closer to the Luna to get her to stop for a second, and then instantly moves down to hide in the trees again, where she cuts and loses vision. Lucent Beam gets cancelled, and they get more right clicks in as a result of that. Oh.
Absolutely disastrous.
Yeah, that was disastrous. Not getting a kill and losing 2.
And I was going to say that Team Unknown actually has the option to defensively rotate on these goes that the pressure lanes are going to be making on the side lanes, but he's got to move fast because they're going to lose this tower otherwise. Roar on the Luna.
Yeah, I don't even know, like... I wouldn't be surprised if there was an early tap out at this pace. This is just, yeah, I don't know where to look anymore. There's just too much stuff going on right now with Burna being initiated on top. Pushed onto the tower, not enough damage with Greedy and Moonlight. Meanwhile, in the bottom half of the jungle, feeling has been found. Balrogs onto another brawl right away at the same time. Robo-Z is also there, and Soul. He functions a bit of damage in. Okay, they finally killed Burna under the tower.
And they got a
Now they're
silence.
killing another guy. There's the Ember Spirit dying. Did somebody tell them that there's like there's a war going on or something? Everybody just listed in as conscripts, and now they're fighting everywhere. Did I miss the memo?
Well, see, no. I just think Balrogs is having themselves a grand old time, and Unknown are like, we had to do this, but we really don't want to be here anymore. I think the oh well line from the Ember Spirit perfectly illustrates that. As we watch top, I think Greedy is a bit too greedy here.
Yeah, it worked out the last time when Burna was alone. Now there's 3 other heroes. Snowball, I don't think that's gonna hit. Salve is also there for the heals. They will break it. 10 stick charges too with the IO, so he's gonna be able to heal himself back up if required. But 8 minutes in, triple net worth lead for Balrogs. Luna furthest away, 2,500 when everybody else is sitting either 3K or 4K.
I was kind of wondering if they shouldn't have moved the IO down. Like, it's a lose-lose move, right? If you move the IO down, at least your Luna gets to stay in lane, but your Spirit Breaker doesn't get to have a game. Now at least you have an SB with a game, and on a Wraith King with an ultimate. Oh no.
Line is down. Feeling. He's trying to look for the Nightmare dodge here to get at least a couple points, couple fantasy points for himself. Greedy. Is he gonna run into someone?
Bulldoze is balanced, by the way.
Roche? No. Yeah, Bulldoze is definitely a balanced ability. Even the Hellbear still shows some revenge feeling. Getting hunted by Robo-Z. He's got no more steps remaining, but he does have a remnant. He could also go for Dissimulate. He's also got an Astral Step. What does he do? Does he YOLO this play? Shijoge coming in from the side, doesn't quite get the connection. Another Spirit Breaker charge, this time onto the Grimstroke. Draken is also here. Ward down, they see the Spirit Breaker, and there's the Snowball onto the Bane. With the charge, stun onto 2. It also goes through, almost goes through with the Nether Strike. Now Bane getting roared up. Bane will also die in the process. Not much that they can do, just watch their comrade fall.
We're just brawling between the tier 1 and tier 2 right now. It's not even really that much intention from Balrogs to actually group up for this tower. They know they really only need Draken for that. But if there's kills to be had here, now that's a different story.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, here we go again. Under the tower, Nether Strike onto the Grimstroke. Potential here for Unknown to get some kills for themselves. They've got themselves some upper hand advantage. With that 1 kill, they make it 2. And a straight up smoke. I think they've been spotted though. There was a creep wave under the tower, but Beastmaster, he's slumbering. So he's gonna get stunned up. The Boars are slowing him down. There's a Hellbear as well. The Void Spirit's coming in. The Grimstroke's TPing in. Nightmare's on the Spirit Breaker. Greedy. Did they just sell the Spirit Breaker's life? No Soulbind.
Tanky.
Grim actually level 6, no Soulbind. There you go,
Yep.
Moonlight is down. Yep, it's a kill I'm feeling. Looks like they don't even need the Soulbind. This Spirit Breaker ain't going anywhere.
No, and you see that more often in these really big synergy games, especially with the Void Spirit. Max Inkswell just does so much more than the Soulbind, where, you know, a lot of teams used to aim for the synergies. It's like you were talking about double Roar, maybe double Tusk Punch, right? But it's so hard to pull those off and actually live through it. You'd much rather just get the easy engage with the Inkswell.
Yeah, Inkswell is such a good spell. Has always actually been a really good spell since release of the hero. So yeah, it does make sense that you just skip the early Soulbind point, but you would think to get it against the Spirit Breaker. No, not needed. Draken gonna get charged by Greedy. Greedy. Is he living up to his name? He's made the space, he's made the initiation, but now they're going on completely different targets. The IO is getting initiated on by ZXCA. Very low HP here. Balrogs heroes. 3-man stun from ZXCA with the Inkswell. The Inkswell. The Inkswell. It's the one to make the play. Feely getting chased up, and he will also lose his life under the tower. And Balrogs are cleaning house.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one goes... Yeah, it's the Inkswell. I mean, it goes the other way too, I think, if there's a Soulbind, but this is definitely more damage, and this is definitely more devastating when the Ember Spirit walks into it like that, my lord.
Yep. Devastation strikes once again, and, well, at least Luna's farming. But look at the gap. Just look at that net worth chart now. It's nearly impossible against to catch up such a huge lead. That's 2,000 per hero. Even the supports combined, you have an 8,000 net worth lead now, and they're going straight for Roche.
And the problem with the Luna here is that she's going to have to go into defensive items to just get to live, but it means they won't have enough damage output to actually deal with anything the Wraith King is going to throw at them. This Wraith King is going Armlet, Deso, and you have to kill him twice. What are you gonna do?
What can you do when you can do absolutely nothing? Mules into Remnant, into Inkswell stun, slow snowball. Yeah, you get the drill. You get the drill indeed. Io, I think they saw him with the Hawk. Yep. Shards are ready. Snowball in 5. Yeah, they don't need to dive this one unnecessarily. There's a Spirit Breaker charge coming in from the side. Does he want to go all the way through? Greedy. Oh, he canceled it too late.
Cancel early enough.
Oh, relocate save at least. Gotta do something to save your buddy. But that's your relocate on cooldown now.
And the problem is that they've been brawling in order to get this Luna any chance of getting farm out, but they've just been losing hero after hero, and now it doesn't matter that she's been farming, because the other cores of Balrogs are fat too.
Yeah. Oh. It's a
Also,
slow creeping death.
Not likely to be that slow anymore. This is a 14-minute Helm of the Overlord.
That's like 3 minutes faster than usual.
Yes. Yes, it is. Like 16 minutes is a great timing.
Yeah, 16 is great. 17 is like the usual.
Yeah,
14
17
minutes is
usual.
unextraordinary.
Quite extraordinary indeed. So, yeah, that's... I was telling you in the draft that they had roughly up until the Helm of the Overlord came out, but they didn't even have a game up until now.
Dire's top tower
And this is the
under
point where you
siege.
need big single target damage if you want to deal with that creep. Nobody on Unknown can dish that out, not even with items.
Radiant's middle tower is being
Well, they're going to freely push down this tier 2 tower because there's not going to be a single answer from Unknown team. We're just basically sitting inside their base. 3 heroes pushing in top. Luna trying to farm Dragonlance, Mask of Madness. We're already looking at Aghanim soon up. Oh, the Void Spirit. Tusk is almost got Solar Crest. He also has Desolator, Armlet. So they're like 1 to 2 items already ahead. Distance.
Basically an item on every single core. It's disastrous. This Luna, well, she might have a BKB by the time the game ends, but that does not actually mean she gets to deal any damage. She just gets to live.
It's just too late. Not early enough to get it.
It must be a lot of fun if you're Balrogs, though. You're just walking at people and they fall over.
Yep. Do they? What kind of way do they fall over though? Like, do they just, you know, like drop dead, or are they basically like Hail the King?
Well, so far Unknown has sort of been grimly marching into their deaths, right? They have been trying to buy space.
Somehow,
Like, it's valiant.
somehow I had like this picture in my brain of an ogre mage. Oh, he slipped. Yeah.
Brave, but stupid.
Brave but stupid indeed. Sold is dead. Tier 3 tower's gone.
And I want to make it very clear, by the way, they don't have any other options than the brave option.
Yeah, kind of like what
At
we had
least
in the
they're putting
last
up a
game
fight.
with the PA jump. That was brave. But right
Yeah.
now, it's just too far. Too far. Too much. Where are your limits? Where are your limits, Greedy? Can't go for the charge in. Burn up. Keeping up the push. Yeah, Ricker might be taunting with his roars, but Burnus, he's not having any of it. Wondrous Punch onto the Luna. Marcus is dead. Fiend Script. Oh, they got the Fiend Script onto the Void Spirit. Like, oh, I got this guy. Ember, well, doesn't really have that much tools to fight with, so just gonna have to keep on throwing some slates from the back. Slowly chipping down the Void. Still has the Aegis. Bottom racks, mid racks both gone. Chains ain't enough to kill this Void Spirit either. Snowball is there for the necessary save, but they don't even have to save this guy. They find a kill. Now the Aegis finally burns. Soul, Moonlight, they're just gonna have to watch their buildings fall. 17 minutes on the clock. Their tier 2 tower in the top lane is the only thing that keeps Balrogs away from their base. As that falls, they're not leaving anymore. Time, the clock has basically run its course.
It has, yeah. I think at this point you sort of make it a challenge to see if you can last to 20. Honestly, I don't think they will.
Yeah. That would be I don't know, feel like a mission impossible at this point. Win probability
Ember
is 0.
could spam.
Probability is 0, but this is the fight. The last fight. The fight to end all fights. Greedy, the first one to fall. Balrogs are heroes right down to half HP. Eclipse was used. Roar as well into the Luna. Buyback coming in from the IO. Does he get that relocate? Nope, does not. Looks like Tether was also on cooldown. GG is called. 20 minutes was optimistic. It takes them 18 minutes to finish out this one. And Draken. Yep, that's that's banter, I guess. Gotta put it some way. That's pretty. That's pretty. I mean, I'll just say it. That's something. That's quite the something. Anyway, 2-0 for Balrogs. Rightfully deserved victory from them. Unknown in 2 games, 11 kills total. Balrogs, something 60, 70, something like that. But it took them, if you minus the draft time, about 40 minutes to finish the series.
I haven't seen people get quite this. What's the term again? Shellacked in quite a while. And that's
yeah. I could say that Balrogs is a pretty flamboyant team.
Definitely. I mean, you can see how well they work together. How and like it's just their understanding of the lanes alone is enough to wash Unknown here. There's not really anything else they have to do after it than play it out. And like what Draken does there is something like is true, but he shouldn't say it. It's like
It's
yeah,
true.
he only plays the lane, and after that he walks at them. And that is a very clear indication of just how big the quality difference is between these two teams here. And Balrogs, I said it to you in the break. I think they are a good contender for like the middle of tier one DPC, not just at the bottom here. So yeah, the sooner we get them out of Division 2, the better.
Yeah, I feel like their rightful place definitely is in Division 1. If Gorilla's Pride and Infinity don't prove themselves to be stronger opponents than Balrogs, I would love to see them in the uppers at least with a performance like this. But that also does say, I think Unknown Team is just out of their league in this one. This series definitely showed that their opponents are way better than they are. They still have some series up ahead. I believe they are playing against Gorilla's Pride next week. And then they also had a match against Omega on the final week. That's in 1 week and 6 days. So definitely the opponents don't get any easier than what they... Well, I mean, wouldn't say that they currently are, in a sense.
I
But
guess
but
they
yeah.
get slightly.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's,
at least in some spectrum, you can technically measure difficulty. But this game was definitely too hard for Unknown. It was easy for Balrogs, you could say, and they will march up to 4-1. They're now still holding on to their second place in the groups because Infinity 4-0 will be playing up next. So we're gonna take a 1.5 hour break, but if I'm understood correctly, do keep an eye open if anything changed in the schedule. If not, we shall be back in 1 hour and 30 minutes for Infinity, the group leader, versus Omega from the middle parts. And that one is proving to be a bit of a brawl as well, because Infinity, if they can keep up their win streak, they're one step closer to going to the upper division. But we're in the week 4. Anything can happen. So we'll see you after a bit of a long break here with T-Panda and Kips continuing with the commentary. So good time to get some refreshments and see you after that.